Hello and welcome to Wolfman Gaming. This is my Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2 blind playthrough. And we are in Act 2 of the game if you are new to this. And in Act 1 everything in this game was really simple, and I was a bit confused about that fact because I thought it was a lot more simple than the first game. And I knew that I had read in a review that this was significantly harder. And I'm starting to realize what they meant. Ah, this must be the train boss. And I wonder, how have they beefed up you? Because if I recall correctly, I thought that this boss was the absolute easiest one in Act 1. Can we? No. Okay. Wow. So the answer to that question, how they have ramped them up, is pick away. Because they didn't hold back any punches. He was relentless. And I don't think I will succeed in any way whatsoever with Hachi down. But I'm gonna at least attempt this once again, just so we can maybe learn his attacks a bit more, because it's a lot quicker. But we're safe from the flames up here. And oh, you're safe from those shots there as well. Good to know. So basically what you have to do is you have to beware of his flamethrower attack, because that will eat through your health bar, but then it seems you can just stand beneath that platform and be completely safe from everything else. So I'm gonna try. Let's see, how much of my weapon points do I need to just tank through that thing? Quite a few of them. And now we're safe here. No, we're not, because and then came the flame rain. If I can use Hachi to just tank. Let's see. Now I'm boned. Nope, not yet. Now I'm boned. But with Hachi, we did manage to put in a lot of damage to the boss. So maybe if we can do a lot of damage with Hachi, we should be able to switch over to Sangetsu or Robert afterwards and more or less just plow down the boss. That is best case scenario. I'm gonna see if I can leave this room and maybe respawn the lamps, because I would love to go into that fight with full health, or with at least full weapon points. Yes, you can respawn them. But you respawn everything else too. And that wasn't the plan. So if you play this super safe. There goes one. Come on, Batsy. Yeah, at least close enough. So now let's catch the train, so to speak. Just face tanking it like a beast. Let's see if my theory holds up. Yes, it did. And then we jump over here. And we start working his way down, or our way down. We're doing awesome, actually. Need to keep an eye on my health bar now, so I don't make any stupid mistakes. And I'm guessing falling off the train this time is probably an insta-kill. There comes that attacks. We just sit here and crouch down. Then he does that. Face tanks on fire. And down goes the boss. Hopefully. I'm gonna stay really far over here on the right. Because this is probably a two-facer. Yes. He had a desperation attack. But that's okay, because we survived it at least. Still, I must say the first boss was the hardest. Stage 4. Did it say Full Metal Destroyer? So is this like Hachi's level? I'm thinking. Haha! Oh, that's just awesome. Since Hachi is walking on spikes, he doesn't slip. He does not slide on the ice. And that is one of those awesome attentions to detail. That is one of those things that really makes you enjoy a game, when they do those little things. Those little things that do make a big difference in the end. Because it can change your entire experience of a game. And I love the fact that we have beaten the frozen water. We can't go through there. And we can't get through there. I wonder why can't you go in there? But we'll go down instead. Let's see. We'll go in here. Right. This is the room where I thought I could pick up the new sword. Still can't do anything in here. Is there maybe like... no? That's super weird. But... I guess that is just there for like aesthetics. Which is fine, I guess. I'm gonna do it a bit of the wimp's way. Try to go the correct direction. Because since the damage output is upped among the enemies here, it's best to, I think, avoid combat whenever you can. So you don't take unnecessary damage and die. That has happened many a time, that I've died just before a checkpoint or something like that. And I'm sure it has happened to anyone and every one of you too. Sometimes you get really close. Like, if anyone has ever played Cuphead, that game that came out for Xbox One and now has been released on PlayStation 4 as well. That in that game, if you haven't played it, it's a cartoon platforming run and gun boss gauntlet game. There are 6 platforming run and gun stages and 19 bosses. Also one of those games that is absolutely beautiful, but is also hard as balls. I would say that it's definitely one of the hardest games I have ever gotten through. And just to illustrate my point, how hard I thought it was. As I said, there are 6 platforming levels or run and gun levels, and there are 19 bosses. And I think I died 547 times or some absurd number like that going through that game, and I've beaten it once. And that was on regular difficulty. There are 3 difficulties. There is regular, there is easy, and there is expert. And how someone is able to beat that game on expert, I have seen people do it. There is a speedrunner called the Mexican Runner, and I think he holds like every world record there is in that game. And he can do like beat all the bosses on expert, get an S rank and go pacifist throughout all the run and gun levels, and I just don't understand how he's doing it. But that is the thing with speedruns. I enjoy watching speedruns, I love them. Just because people that are so amazing at games, and especially in some games, they know everything, they have glitched the game, or they skip things with or via glitches, which isn't so much fun to watch, or it can be, just because usually the glitches are so precise in the way you have to perform them. But I like to see the fact that, especially in games where not everything is completely set, where they have to like adapt and react, or react and adapt to situations. That was a mistake. And I find it fascinating to see like people speedrunning Ghosts and Goblins. I know I read a comment on YouTube about yes, once again I'm talking about Blasphemous, that it was like the hardest game ever, and a lot like Ghosts and Goblins. But I would say that it isn't, just due to the fact that I managed to beat Blasphemous. And I have yet, and this is something I've said before, I have yet to get through the first level in Ghosts of Goblins, because that game I would say is more or less impossible. Thank you, checkpoint. And I'm guessing that we are getting close to the next boss. I will bet on it. And this went terrible. But either way, we live, we learn, we bleed in the process. Those... what are they, frogs? Toads? Lizards, maybe? Oh, please let there be a... yes, this is not the boss room. And Hachi is the only character I have left. This is gonna be fun. And I can't get through. Or I can't get up there because I need Hachi to get up there. Please let there be a checkpoint up here. There is no checkpoint up here. Why is there no checkpoint up here? I guess we're gonna have to trudge on. Please let there be a checkpoint in the next room. Yes. Okay, we're not gonna get that weapon points up, which is sad. But I guess we're just gonna have to live with that. And I think now we're... yes, we are getting really close to the boss. Yes, here's the boss room. Probably not gonna beat this boss in this episode, because if I remember correctly, this boss was quite challenging even in Act 1. And by the look of it, yes, this is the Booberella. They have not made the bosses easier in Act 2, but at least we're gonna do an honest attempt. And... ooh. And this is absolutely terrible. I'm guessing that was phase 1. If I recall correctly, this boss has a phase 2. Really? Okay. I'll take that. Not quite sure. I thought it was fair. But at least I managed to get through her entire phase 1 using only Sangetsu. So, if we can... 44 weapon points. If we can do decently through the first phase in with Sangetsu, maybe we can use Hachi to tank through a lot of the bullshit in the second phase. At least that's what I'm hoping for. But the fact that these platforms are really slippy slidey makes this unnecessarily difficult. Okay, the ice doesn't do a lot of damage, at least. That's one thing at least. I'm just gonna try to do as much damage as possible while keeping an eye on my health bar. There goes phase 1, switch over to Hachi. I think we did the same thing, or I did the same thing in her first, or in Act 1 when I faced off against her. And this time, a slight difference I have made when it comes to playing this game. In Act 1, I used my Razer Raiju controller. That is not the case this time. I actually switched over to a normal DualShock 4. Come on, yes. There we go. I'm gonna move over here unless, in case she has something unpleasant she wants to throw at me. I switched over to a normal DualShock 4 because the D-pad is much better on these controllers than it is on the Razer Raiju, which makes the platforming a little bit easier. But that was the end of that level, and let's see what the next level is. Stage 5, Blood Hotter Than Flame, I think. But that is a mission for another day. I'm gonna end this episode right here, and I wanna thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in my next video. So until next time, this is the Wolfman signing off.